Let me see.
We'll call on you. Mr. President, how are you?
How is the chair today?
Oh, not bad. Can't complain.
Behaving yourself?
We're running a little later than I wanted to this morning. But, I'd like to get here with at least 10 minutes before the meeting, but sometimes things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Before the meeting, I was giving my condolences to the Raider fans for their game
Yeah.
last
Hi,
night.
Mommy.
Yeah, they got blitzed pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
That was not a good game if you're a Raider fan.
Yeah. Well, I've got that page on Facebook, Raider and 49er hater page.
Oh, really?
So we're all like everything. I told everybody that everything and anything goes except family. No, your mamas are kicked out. It's pretty vicious.
Yep, I hear you.
I call Max Crosby Maxi Pad.
My next door neighbor, who's the mayor of San Pablo now, who's about to give up the seat to my wife next
Arturo?
meeting. Yeah, Arturo is a huge Raider fan.
Oh, yeah.
He
That's
loves
what
the
they're
Raiders.
like.
Raider Nation, man.
Yeah. They're all on the spectrum.
I don't tease him though. I kind of just
Right?
kind of feel his pain.
No. We here in the Bay Area,
But you don't feel the pain.
No, it's been on since the 80s.
I hear you.
Ever since they left the Bay.
All right, so we ready? Are we ready? Everything good? Okay. All right. Okay, I'm calling November 18, 2023 West County Wastewater Infrastructure Operations and Environment Committee meeting to order at 10:04. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Here.
Here. Okay, thank you very much. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or observe a moment of silence. Director or President Rentila, please lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so, why don't we have Angela? Please lead us through the through the rest of the agenda.
Sure. I'm Angela Andrews, Acting Deputy General Manager for this meeting. I'm ready to lead you through this meeting.
Okay.
We do not have public comment as this is a special meeting. On the agenda is to accept the minutes of the October 14th. Oh, on the, oh, okay.
Is your mic on?
Mike, can you hear me? Okay. So there's,
We didn't receive any written comments. Would anybody need, if anybody needs to comment on item 1, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to minutes.
Well, they have to accept.
Okay.
Okay, can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
I'd like to move the motion.
Okay, and I'll second. Next item, please.
Next item on the agenda is to receive the update on the Clean and Green project. Madam Clerk, have we received any public comments on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 2, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Thank you. So we are going to have our Senior Project Manager, Keith Reynolds, to present on the Clean and Green project update.
As I said, my name is Keith Reynolds, Senior Project Manager here at West County Wastewater. And I am internally managing the Clean and Green project.
Can you turn your mic on for us?
Is it on now? There it goes. So we'll start with this is our agenda. We'll start with a quick overview, talk about some deficiencies that we've had, some issues, give kind of a high-level overview of those, some challenges, the benefits, and then I'll open the floor for questions regarding the project. And so just kind of an overview of what we are actually working on here, right? So it's a multi-faceted project. It kind of touches all aspects of engineering and of the process, starting from the front of the process all the way through the rear. And right now, our main focus now is on the solids train of the project. But as you see, we have upgrades at the headworks, new digesters, about 1 million gallons apiece. New RDTs are being installed, air blowers, and multiple other chemical systems that are installed to kind of redirect carbon as well as improve treatment inside of the digester and the environment inside to kind of create more gas. Past and current operations, as you know, we had an old DAFT system that was, you see it in the upper right-hand corner there. And then now we're in our old digesters that are pictured there as well. And we also were in a sludge handling business and we're getting out of that. And so now we were changing from the DAF to an RDT system, rotary drum thickener, that's the official term of it, which was basically a big dryer without the heat that kind of mixes the sludge in with polymer to kind of thicken it before it gets introduced into the digester to become methane, which we will use to create electricity. The project benefits, as we've kind of always talked about here, is a greenhouse gas reduction, increased power resiliency in case of failure, either of the grid or any other kind of natural disaster, reduction of our annual utility cost. We should be able to produce most of our own electricity moving forward, a high percentage of that, and just being a community leader of sustainability. About how to move forward in this new environment. And we've been able to do that. We've had multiple individuals from all over the country come and visit our treatment plant because it is a unique project and a unique undertaking that you all and kind of reflect that. EQ basin. So we do have our new EQ basin. This is a picture prior to it being used over the last few years. We've had the benefit of using this over the last few years, and that's kind of prevented us, especially last year when we had a lot of rain, from having an overflow, right? We've been able to have an additional 24 million gallons of storage. which brings us up to upwards of 60 million gallons of storage. Our digesters, solids building, that's it in its old stage. Newer pictures, it has a little more activity around it. We have our new cogens and other pieces of equipment also installed here. But you can see from the aerial photo the amount of work that was taking place here so far. Plant resiliency in PV, we're actually in the process of that. Next month, we will receive our new Tesla battery system to start the installation process of that. And that will also outside funding opportunities that we were able to obtain. So the BESS system groundbreaking will start here, coming up here next month. And then, like I said, we have the delivery of that system, and that will hopefully be completed by the end of August. And that's due to, I don't know how to say it, things with PG&E rules that they have, with us having to complete the cogen before we can turn the battery system on officially. Project benefits so far, we have an aeration blower, we've been able to reduce our power usage substantially already at the treatment plant. This is the part of, traditionally was the biggest energy user at the treatment plant. We've been able to reduce that by using this dual core blower. It's been pretty successful, and we've had only, I think over the last few years, only 2 faults on it over the whole time. Some of the challenges, it's been a fast-paced work environment. A project like this normally, just for reference, I was able to go to 10 years, right? And it's much smaller, it's like half the size of what we're doing. And we'll be able to do this less than 5 so far, right? So because it's a fast-paced environment, that has caused some issues with communication as well as maybe decisions on equipment that was installed that has to be kind of come back to at this point as we're doing commissioning, but that's part of the process, and that's kind of, you know, we have this kind of fast-paced kind of environment. Permanent impacts, we've had a couple of those, mainly with Air District. Was a struggle, but however we received it, and we've been kind of thriving moving forward. Staff varying, we've had a lot of in and out, especially on their side, that kind of caused some challenges here, but we've been able to meet them. But they have caused some high-level challenges. Design issues, mostly those are, I would say, in the solids train, delivering of the solids to be transported off. Those are things that we're working out now. Not so much other parts of the plant. Those have been pretty successful, kind of event-free, but the solids train gave us some challenges that we're currently working through. Facility constraints, we had to maintain an operating treatment plant while we're doing this massive construction project. That's been some things. I say 2 of the 4 years, storms have definitely caused some impacts with us. The amount of raining and allowing them to do work outside. Now that we're in a dry or a dry-in kind of situation where we're inside of buildings, we're kind of protected from that moving forward. I would say, other than that, missing as-built is probably the biggest thing on this list here. But we didn't have a lot of understanding of what is happening or what's underground, and that caused some issues early on. But we're at a point now where we kind of mapped out everything in our at least the immediate area, and so we don't really have that issue moving forward. We shouldn't have it moving forward. So I will leave the floor open to questions regarding the Clean and Green project, and do my best to answer them.
Okay, thank you for that presentation. President Rentila, questions, comments?
I do. And I'm not, if this is not appropriate time to answer these questions, that's fine. We do have an agenda item tomorrow evening regarding the PSLA. But my question is, we've seen a lot of presentations talking about what we have and what we're expecting as far as moving parts of the plant. We're in transition. My question, number one, is how much, because our guys, our plant hands, they have a limited skill set. Mm-hmm. And my question is how many, what's the percentage of work that our guys can do right now, and what's the percentage of work that outside contractors are doing?
I would say that I would say mechanically, I think we could do most of all that work, but there are some contractual obligations from Optera mainly concerned in some major pieces of equipment like your cogens, gas cleaning skids,
Yeah.
dryers, things of that nature. I believe for a certain period of time that they will manage that, and then our people will then kind of shadow them and learn how to manage it. And after that time frame, it'll be our responsibility. Things like the code, like the gas cleaning skid, are pretty dangerous pieces of equipment. And so I think moving forward with that, that will definitely, I think contractually, I think we have to have someone else come in and do that part of the stuff. But most of the mechanical things, the pumps and things of that nature, they've already started doing some of that, those maintenance items and things of that nature. I would say percentage-wise, I probably will let Andrew kind of talk more about that, because they're already doing some work on kind of building that out, what that looks like, and I don't want to overspeak and not have the proper information.
And what does it look like when you're looking for contractors with specialized skills?
I would say for most of the things, especially gas cleaning skid, that manufacturer is a proprietary piece of equipment. They have to do it. So it's, we have to contract directly through them. So it's Granite Night, I think it's called. For most of the other things, I believe that the manufacturers are the ones that are gonna come out to do these annual maintenances of the equipment. Because those 4 pieces of equipment that I kind of talked about are kind of specialized, and they're kind of, they're not like a universal piece of equipment, so those manufacturers know what they need to do to kind of maintain it. I would imagine that some of those pieces of equipment will take more extensive training from our staff to maybe go out to the sites and learn how to maintain them, especially like the cogen and the dryer, for example. But I think they come directly from the manufacturer. They're not like a, it's not like an RFP kind of send out type of thing. It's worked into the contract for them to do it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions. Thank you for the presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
Andrew?
Hello, Andrew Clow, General Manager. Just to follow up on a couple of things when Keith was talking about contracting and your questions about what percentage, because there's the construction, which is occurring, but then there's the maintenance of the new infrastructure, and there's a lot of preventative maintenance activities. So the way the contract is written is that Optera is responsible for meeting certain performance objectives. So also within that contract, there are certain maintenance activities that happen on some of those pieces of equipment, specifically by Optera, now no longer Engie. And that's because they're very much interested in making sure it happens in a certain way to make sure it meets the performance standard. But that being said, the simplest way to put it is one way is, you change the oil and you change the filters and stuff on the car on a regular basis. There's a lot of activities on the new equipment that we will inherit, and our staff will be doing that kind of work. And some of that, and that's where, if we needed to go into more detail, like HDR and some of the other help that's coming in, that will be assisting staff in the initial transition elements, because it's too much to ask of staff immediately. The complexity of the equipment is significantly more so than a lot of what we've had. So we've reduced maintenance staff needs, like the blowers that he just showed. We pretty much had 1 FTE full-time, 1 person full-time, just constantly doing something with those monsters. Now, they change the filters every couple months, in and out, and that's it. So we've reduced there, but the cogen and some of these new pieces of equipment are going to require a lot of preventative maintenance of a type that our staff hasn't done. So they're getting trained, and we'll have contractors assist, and then that will be work that we'll do going forward. And then there'll be some maintenance activities that will with Optera, and that's all built in and part of the existing contract.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate continuing education for staff, and it's important for them to, changing oil is not always that simple. You
No.
put the wrong oil into a
Oh,
machine.
absolutely. You want to do it right.
It could
but
cost millions of dollars, right?
It's, you aren't rebuilding the engine block.
Right, right,
So,
right, right.
yeah, which actually they could do quite easily.
Yeah.
But
It also speaks to complacency, and so I appreciate that.
and what our staff needs to do is, unlike what Keith just referred to as the manufacturer would come in and the specialist on a particular piece of equipment, as opposed to our staff who 16 different kinds of pumps at different locations and different types of equipment. So while we have specialized knowledge in a lot of those particular areas, for the most part, our project managers, our maintenance staff, we're generalists. And we need to be, and then we'll hire a specialist for certain activities. But to have the breadth is we don't have a very deep bench, but what we need to have is a strong bench. And so there's a lot of cross-training that goes on so that we have a lot of that knowledge and we can approach a lot of the different problems. We don't have enough staff to do everything, but we want to be able to have us knowledgeable on most things. So it's a balance that we try to strike.
Yeah, at least the general knowledge.
Yeah, and then the transition is still going to be quite a challenge, as we're finding out. Anything else you wanted to add on that, Keith? Transition? Yeah, are you good?
I was just going to ask the senior project manager to talk about the transition working group that he's been working on. If you want to give more detail.
Yeah. So we have been working on we've collected individuals throughout the West County wastewater from different departments who all will be able to kind of touch this project moving forward for the transition from construction to operation. As Andrew talked about earlier, there are multiple clauses in the contract as it pertains to energy guarantees as well as maintenance from Optera. And so we have to maintain our records internally and ensure that we have everything internally ready to go in case we have to call on those clauses within the contract. And so what we're able to do is take individuals, kind of create this transition work team and create a plan on how we're going to manage this as a organization moving forward. Okay? And so we have that plan. That plan also includes some projects that we may have to supplement this project with to help staff, as they transition from maintaining, I would say, a traditional type of plant to something that's more technologically advanced, right? And so all of those things are part of the plan, and then the implementation of that plan will then fall with Andrew and leadership on how they would like to move forward. Some of the items moving forward, some of the items we were able to kind of incorporate into the project to kind of get done now that were more pertinent to us finishing. But that group is coming, I guess, not to an end, but their work is coming to an end. The major part of their work was creating that plan here, probably within the next month or two. The goal was to get it done before we started producing solids, and we do think we will start doing that before the end of the calendar year. So I think there's a lot of work, and I want to thank everyone for participating in that. It's a larger group, probably about 15 people. And we were able to complete that. And I think a big major part of that was the upgrade to our CMMS system as well, that we were able to kind of use HDR, as Andrew said before, to kind of supplement some of the work internally, some of the specialized work when it comes to CityWorks, and be able to kind of create this structure that we were able to transfer into CityWorks and use that contract with them to do that. And I think that's been very helpful, and our staff is already utilizing that now in the field. And so things like that are areas we're kind of looking at to kind of speed things up maybe, or in a specialized sense like Andrew was talking about. So, yeah, that was it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item, please.
Thank you. The next item is to receive an update on the PIPES program, Public Incentive Program for Efficiencies of Sewers. Madam Clerk, have we received public comments on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 3, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Next, I will introduce our Planning and Support Services Manager, Judy Chin, who will be presenting this item.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Judy Chen. I'm the Planning and Support Manager of West County Wastewater. Today, I would like to present you PIPES. PIPES is an acronym for Public Incentive Program for Efficiency of Sewer. Now, when we talk about PIPES program, we need to talk about the sewer level compliance, because PIPES program is really the extension of the sewer level compliance. Without sewer level compliance, there is no PIPES program. So I'm going to start it with the sewer level compliance, because it's really important, because that's what we do on a daily basis. So when we talk about sewer level why it's so important. So the purpose of a sewer lateral compliance program is to protect public health. That's really important, is to ensure that we continue to be an environmental stewardship, and that's aligned with our strategic plan. It's to maintain private sewer lateral compliance to protect our environment, to preventing spills. And the goal is also keeping water rate clean and ensuring a reliable wastewater system for the future. It's not just now, but it's also for the future as well. And when we talk about sewer lateral compliance, so when we talk about sewer lateral compliance, I always like to package together with the outreach program, because as much as we want to do, we want to ensure that community is aware of how important the sewer lateral compliance is. And so in addition to the event in the community that we participate, we also attend the El Sobrante MAC, North Richmond MAC, and East Richmond High MAC. MAC is an acronym, stands for Municipal Advisory Council. These are the meeting organized by the county supervisor, and then we have actively asking to participate in this type of meeting where we can meet with the community leader and the resident in our service area. So this is just the schedule of what we have done in the past and what's upcoming in the future. So in December, we're gonna attend the North Richmond MAC, and in January is the East Richmond High MAC. Now, PICE program. Again, PICE stands for Public Incentive Program for Efficiency of Sewer. I want to take this opportunity to thank the West County Wastewater, the board member approved the incentive program in 2020, funding at $400,000 year over year to support residents who would like to repair or replace their sewer lateral. And so this is really the program that appreciated by many residents. They have asked for a question and submit their application. And here is just a table to show what is the threshold and how much they can get for reimbursement. For those high I&I area, which is inflow infiltration areas, they can get maximum up to $4,500. Okay, so there are certain criteria and certain, paperwork that they need to submit, but nothing difficult. It's really typical, showing the proof of residency, showing the proof of the property owner information, and get the call from the sewer lateral contractor, and then we will issue the pre-approval later, and they can go ahead and do the repair or replacement. And once that job has been completed, and we issue the certificate of compliance, and that's when we will reimburse the resident with the dollar amount shows on the table. So we have designated a certain fund for helping out with the resident who lives in high I&I area, and for all other area, it's up to $3,000. This is just the number of the application that we approve and the disbursement amount ever since the program starts, okay? So the board approved it in 2020, that's fiscal year 2021, right? And so for the first 5 months, that's when we start doing the outreach, like the community know about the PICE program. And then starting on the month 5th, that's when we start disbursing the amount to the residents. So I think the timeline is really good. I know that at that time, the agency did a lot of outreach program to make sure that the resident is aware of the PICE program. So again, thanks to the board for approving this funding to assist the resident in our service area. Now, the PICE program has a guideline providing the guidance to the staff and as well as to the resident. Currently, our PICE program is offering this incentive to the resident and commercial property owners, okay? So one needs to be the property owner of residential and the commercial, and they all receive the same eligible for the same dollar amount under the program. Okay, so this is what the eligibility right now.
However, since the staff has been continuing to do the outreach, so we have a new inquiry comes in, okay, asking for assistance. And those are, for instance, apartment complex, okay, and HOAs, okay. So what's the difference between the HOA and residential property, right? Well, there are some condominiums that the property owner, the unit property owner is responsible for their sewer lateral. However, in those condominiums, they have a common area. It's called shear lateral. And those shear lateral are managed by the homeowner association management. So it's not really tying to the particular resident, but it's a collective effort of all residents, but it's managed because it's a common area. So it's managed by the homeowner association management, okay? Currently, we do not see anywhere in our PICE program that could offer this type of ownership we can't find anywhere to fit into our current PICE program. So that's why I'm here today to seek the guidance from the IOE committee to see, here are a couple questions, okay? First is, are we gonna look into the new inquiry, right? For those apartment complex, they are still paying for their sewer rate, but there's no property tying to one resident because it's an apartment complex, right? HOA is the common area, right? And so it's not really tying to a particular resident that they can apply. So it's a little bit more complex. The paperwork will be different as well. So my question to the committee member is, would you like the staff to start looking into how we can offer and accommodate this type of new inquiry, right? If the answer is yes, we will start working with the legal to draft the recommendation. And yeah, so if that's something that you would like us to proceed with, and if you would like us to proceed with, staff will start working with the legal on getting the document draft, the recommendation. And do you want us to come back to the IOE committee, or do you want us to move forward with the board review and adopt as an amendment to the existing PICE program?
Yes.
Okay.
My thought is yes.
Okay, and would you like us to come back to the IOE, or we can move forward with the board review?
We have a question, we have a comment here
Yes.
from our Deputy General Manager, Justin Lobo.
Good morning, Justin Lovell, Deputy General Manager. Just, this is something that we are pursuing, so it's necessarily, we can come back and inform the IOE committee of the progress with regarding to the HOAs.
I personally have a lot of questions regarding HOAs.
Yes, but yeah, so I think that would be a good time for a separate item on a future meeting.
So the option would be bring back for an IOE committee meeting in the future.
For more discussion.
For
on
more
what
discussion.
we're doing and what we're proposing to do.
Okay,
I think that's what we're great thing.
okay,
I think that's a good course of action.
okay.
I appreciate that. Okay, so the staff, okay, so the conclusion is the staff will,
So the staff will discuss internally and bring back the item for discussion at a future IOE item.
sure. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Does that work? Just confirming we'll be bringing back the item as a future IOE item for discussion with staffs.
I would like to recommend that we follow staff's suggestion and make it so.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions that we have?
Yeah, I do, through the chair.
Go ahead.
So we all know that not all HOAs are created equal. Some are newer, some are older, so some will require newer pipe installations and backflow. And also, we really haven't discussed, I discussed this with with Justin about ADUs. And so I don't know that HOAs are prohibited from having ADUs in the backyard. I don't know that. Obviously, you may have an answer, because you have more familiarity with HOAs, being that you're the president of
Morning
one?
again, but I can't speak specifically on the answer, but it's possible based on the CCNRs of each individual HOA. Some may outright prohibit it, but there's state law. So I mean, I can't say specifically in any of our HOAs if they are or not at this time.
I think that's a work in progress, really.
Yeah.
Last night, the city of San Pablo, that was on the agenda for discussion, ADUs, and whether or not they can be part of a homeowner's, if they can be sold separately. So there's a lot of semantics on ADUs right now.
So ADU, we have seen some of the ADU inquiry coming up probably for the last 2 years to the permit divisions. ADU involve county approval as well because it's a building permit that they need to obtain. And so once the county has approved their ADU approval, then that's when they will submit the sewer lateral drawing to West County Wastewater for approval. So we don't necessarily approve or disapprove the ADU on the property. That's more on the county side of it.
Yeah, because at the RNCC meeting, we've had a lot of discussion about ADUs and the reporting of ADUs, because we get, in the city of Richmond, if you go to their website, they have a notify me button under each department. And when you go to planning, you can click on notify me. And so all of the new projects come to you through emails. And you could see all of these ADUs that are being built. A lot of them in Richmond are not being built with permits. And so I don't know if there's an incentive program for people to, maybe call in and say, hey, my neighbor's building one without, what do I do? Or, but I spoke to some folks about what is the mechanism for them to contact the county, West County, and what is our role when it comes to inspecting them to make sure they're in compliance, because they're built in a specific way with backflow, so the sewage doesn't flow back into the home. So I'd be interested in knowing what is our role when it comes to the PIPES program and inspecting them.
Sure. Yeah, Director Rintela, I want to make a correction of what I just say. The ADU, if it's in an unincorporated area, the building authority belongs to the county. But if it's within the city limit, it's, let's say, City of Richmond, that will be the City of Richmond's building official who decide whether or not the ADU is allowed. I think it's because of the spaces or anything like that. So we, as a West County Wastewater, we are authorized to make sure that their sewer lateral is in compliance. So we don't get involved with whether or not city or county will approve their building request. But once they have received the application, normally the county and city will direct the resident to approach us to review the sewer lateral design.
And also, keeping in mind, I was involved with East Richmond becoming a MAC, and it wasn't that long ago. They are the newest MAC, and I was just curious if anything's different with them as opposed to the older MACs when it comes to the PIPES program.
Yeah. So when it comes to PIPES program, what we are, so when we receive the application, it's when the sewer lateral needs attention. So regardless if it's an older property or newer property, if they need to repair their sewer lateral or replace it, that's when they can reach out to us to determine whether it's repair or replace accordingly. I will say that for those residents that it's over 50 years old and that they have never replaced their sewer lateral, I strongly suggest that they look into their sewer lateral compliance, because like our gravity sewer pipes, life expectancy is somewhere around 50 to 75 years. And there's a special requirement in our PIPES program for those homes that is over 50 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also wanted to, before I let you go, I wanted to applaud West County Wastewater for their incentive or rebate program, because I know that some of these sewer laterals can cost from $10,000 to $30,000, depending on on what hill you live on and how deep they have to go and all the other parameters?
That's absolutely right, Director Rintila. You just mentioned something that this is how we reimburse to the residents as well. So if they have a longer than 100 feet and deeper than the 10 feet, that's where they will get the maximum reimbursement. So we also put that into consideration, and the board agree with it and approve it with a different reimbursement table. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
I just also want to say that this is a great investment into the community as well, but also helps us reduce our emergencies in the community. So we really appreciate this program continuing. We also have a word from our general manager.
You done? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to add as the overview that when Judy brought it here to the IOE committee right now, the idea is it's an information item to explaining some of these terms. The issue is that our ordinance does not effectively deal with some of the complexities around the enforcement aspect as a matter. ADUs is just one other layer of complexity to it. So what we're trying to do here is just bring the information, get familiarity with it, and then we'll have to create proposals and then go through it in some detail. But it's confusing, which is exactly why we're here, because the ordinance does not effectively address it. So enforcing it is a bit of a challenge to figure out the best way to do it in an even way. So.
Well, I do know that the rebate saved us a lot of money in snake rentals, so I can greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is item 4, reports on issues or matters pertaining to work of the committee. Madam Clerk, have we received public comments on this item?
We have not. If anyone wishes to comment on item 4, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Okay, the staff have any further reports?
Yes, we actually have a report from our project manager, Mohammed Masood. He's going to talk about secondary sedimentation, just a quick update.
Okay, thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
So I'm here to give Mohammed Masood, project manager in the Capital Portfolio Division. I'm here to give an update on the secondary sedimentation basins upgrade project. Basically, the plant, our water quality and resource recovery plant, has 4 secondary sedimentation basins. 2 of them were built in 1970, and the other 2 were built in the 1980. And so based on our project prioritization, we observed that this project was actually one of the top or the highest ranked projects for to be carried out urgently. So it was budgeted for in fiscal year 26. We have a budget of 2.4 million. We sent out a solicitation to our on-call engineering bench, which consists of 4 engineers, and we received 2 proposals. We evaluated them internally, and we scored them, and then we reached out that we selected one of them. We are currently negotiating with them, and we should be sending out a task order to the selected consultant within the next 2 weeks. We will be proceeding with the design. The design will be actually based on 2 phases. One will be a short-term design, which will help us carry out the urgent repairs needed to buy some time and to have the basins operational for the next 5-6 years. And then the long-term plan will actually include everything else, which will bring the basins back in a good shape for the next, let's say, 25 to 30 years. That's mainly it, and that's where we are at. And yeah, looking forward to carry out the project.
So we allocated an initial investment of $2.4 million for this project. Rough estimates is a total of $11 million. So we really want to make sure we address what we can with the funding we have right now. But in the future, for future items, this will be a project that will come as part of the capital plan for future years. Okay. And can you give a quick update on San Pablo Dam Road?
Yeah, sure. So for San Pablo Dam Road, as you may know, we have a slide, and the county is currently working on their 60% design, I believe. They are scheduled to finish the design by fiscal year '26, but now they have pushed the construction to start in '27. And so we planned for a short-term plan. We have a short-term plan where we are gonna mobilize 25 frac tanks and have them in a location of the county. That will buy us 2 weeks, and that will be handled by our CSO department. And we are currently also working on a midterm plan where we are gonna reroute the pipe to be a bit far away from the slide area. And yeah, we're currently working with contractors to actually check on the feasibility of rerouting the pipe, and then execute it if the slide develops further. At the same time, on the same San Pablo Dam Road, we have also our La Honda Force Main. It connects over there. We are also reviewing the design now for compliance. We received some comments from East Bay Mod, and we're currently working on it. And then hopefully once we're done with the validation, we will be ready to go out for a bid.
Good, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I guess that is the final report, correct? Yes. All right. So the next Infrastructure, Operations, and Environment Committee meeting is scheduled for December 9th, 2025 at 10 a.m. This meeting is adjourned at 10:45. Thank you. Thank you.
Go Niners.
Niners is right. Big game coming up.
Which game is that? They're all big games.
The Panthers, Monday night. Panthers are 6-5.
I mean, Purdy looked